Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Sunday. This is Devils After Dark, coming to you live from the Primetime Radio studios in beautiful New Jersey, inside the bunker. And from Beverly Hills, California, you've got Scotty of SiriusXM Liquid Metal, streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, X Live. Is it called X Live now? And
I have
Twitch?
no idea. Is that what it's called?
I guess it sounds very, you have to be 18 or older to listen to the podcast on X Live.
X Live.
X Live.
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, before we begin, just got to tell the listeners that due to budget cuts, Season 6, the Sunday edition of the Let's Go Devils podcast, has been canceled. It's been shelved. But don't cry over it, because Devils After Dark will fill in its place that Sunday edition, 9 p.m. Eastern. Maybe the Woo Report. Maybe the State of the Fan Address. I can assure you that Beer Baron and Short Sky are okay. Okay, they're teachers. We came to a collective bargaining agreement that the teachers union and this podcast will allow them to have some sort of summer off. So that's okay. And yeah, so that's happening. And yeah.
Gulp, 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 gulp. I think that's happening as well right now, too, Samu.
Oh yeah. Short Sky's making T-shirts for the Sussex County Fair, I think. And then Beer Baron,
drunk. I think both of them drunk.
No. I think Nikki has them mulching or something outside right now.
Well, we know that won't get done by tonight then.
I'll get done by September 16th.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you don't see Beer Baron on the podcast for the next 2 to 3 months, you know what the excuse is. I gotta mulch, guys. Gotta get that mulch down.
Totally made that up. Yeah,
got a big yard. Got a big yard out here. You know?
need a big crew to mulch the yard, right?
And crew. I heard he's got it. So yeah.
Yeah. You see the comments. Hello, Ted, Steve, Ralph, Max.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Mark. It's great. It's great. It's great to have Devils After Dark. You know,
You got a
it feels
problem
like
with that, Ted? Sweep the leg.
Well, tonight's title, Metropolitan.
What is our title?
Division.
Yeah, you didn't even tell me, because I was. What's going on? We were talking about other things beforehand.
Oh yeah, we had a producer's strike beforehand. Metropolitan Division is stacked. It's stacked.
Oh, it is.
Because there was a big trade, humongous trade,
Huge trade,
Eastern Conference, but specifically the Metropolitan Division. If they're going to have an NHL All-Star game, just tell the Western Conference to just stay home.
Yeah.
It's just sick.
It's stacking up pretty hefty here in the Metro. That's for sure. You're going to have obviously the Devils here, who are going to have a good season, but Carolina, the Rangers will be decent as well. Flyers not as too concerned with, the Capitals for now. Yeah. The Capitals, I think they're on the, that bottom swing of that whole franchise of those players, that were the franchise for such a long time. I mean, they just signed Tom Wilson to, what was it, 6-7 years? Something like that?
Long term.
And it doesn't even kick in this year. I think it kicks in like in 2 years or something like that. Man, that's going to be a heck of a contract in the last couple of years over there. But
I'll tell you,
I'm sure they'll probably slap the C on him as well as soon as Ovi retires. So
You know what? This is their plan. It's actually a smart plan. You give Tom Wilson that deal. You show the value of beefalytics. Okay, price of beef is at an all-time high right now in the NHL. You know how these things work. I think depending upon what happens to the Capitals, I think your hypothesis is correct, but it also could be with the new CBA coming down the line. You know how these things get renegotiated. Oh, we'll have a amnesty buyout clause. That's how the New York Rangers have lived through the CBA in 2004, and then the CBA in 2012 when we had a half a season. And I think there was another buyout. The Rangers, they thrive on the buyouts, which is not fair. Remember the Wade Redden contract and the Scott?
Good old Wade when he signed, and then what did he just right down into the AHL there? Yeah,
Bobby Holik as well. Lordy. That was a buyout.
But speaking of, teams with, franchise players that are, getting to the end of their run, the Pittsburgh Penguins are another one with Crosby and Malkin and Letang, all in their 30s now and getting up there in age, which means the window could be closing. However, the Penguins went out and they made a heck of a deal, 3-team deal, pulling in the Montreal Canadiens and our old friends, Mike Greer and the San Jose Sharks, to swing Erik Karlsson over to that defense and is going to create one of the most deadly power play units in the league with the trifecta there of Karlsson, Crosby, and Malkin. That's going to be a nightmare for teams to try and contain. And don't forget, they also, with Letang, but, our old friend Ryan Graves is over there as well. Wouldn't be surprised to see the old gravy train playing with Karlsson, because Karlsson is what? He's like another forward out there on the ice. We know that. Seeing some things with our good friend Dougie Hamilton. We know how that can work. They're going to be now, big thing, can Karlsson stay injury-free? Because we remember when he was with the Sens, it was a great time. He did have that horrible, who was it that caught him with the skate in the Achilles in the back? Ooh, you remember that? I can't remember who it was. But his best year, what was it like? It was like 2017 or 2018 or something like that. And then he signed with the Sharks for this massive deal. And he was then forever hurt, basically, every single season. And last year, got a real good chunk of those games in, and poof, 101 points from a defenseman. Think about that for a second. Remember how we were just absolutely insane over the production of Jack Hughes? Erik Karlsson outscored Jack Hughes by 2 points, and he's a defenseman. That's a lot of ammo and firepower to be putting on the Penguins. And to also, kind of rejuvenate Crosby and Malkin. Hey, you want to go for another run there? Well, here's a big piece of the puzzle that we can throw in. And see if you guys can get into the playoffs and then make a run with your wily veteran, ways over there to play smart, but to play deadly on special teams, because that's really where they're gonna annihilate some teams. And then you got Letang as well. I mean, man, they are just. I gotta look at the rest of their lineup. Tell you the truth, Sam Wu, what's your take on that trade?
Well, it's the Penguins' last gasp. And, super chat.
Woo!
Yeah, hold on.
Sorry. That wasn't a very good Ric Flair there. There we go. Woo!
So Nate, live from seeing Metallica at MetLife tonight.
Oh, very
nice. You see
nice.
the crowds at Washington's training camp. Joshua Harris is getting a good return on investment. Wow. So he's watching Metallica right now while he's watching this fine programming called Devils After Dark here on the Let's Go Devils Podcast Network.
All right. Man.
Wow.
Very nice. You're on the second night over there. Nate, it's Nintendo Wii. I hope you at least are going both nights and you get to see the Pantera night as well. That's kind of a big deal. But either way, it should still be awesome. Yeah. Whichever night you happen to be going. Our good friend Doc Coyle from God Forbid out of East Brunswick, New Jersey. You see him on stage with Ice Nine Kills tonight. Doc lives out here in LA now. I've jammed with him a bunch of times. And super cool, dude. I know he's psyched to be up on stage tonight. So rock and roll, man. My buddy Jose was there broadcasting from the Metallica show in the parking lot. I know he said he had a bunch of people that he saw drinking beers, doing some black toots for Vinny and Dime and everything. Man, it looked like a hell of a night. Looked like a hell of a night.
I disagree with Max. He's like, hopefully Harris gets all the money. I just hope Harris keeps this payroll going and all that kind of jazz. And, more power to him. But honestly, as a Giants fan, I hope the Commanders go 0-17. I'm not going to jump.
Yeah, as a Giants fan, I do too as well.
Yeah.
And very nice, Wyatt, seeing Pantera in Pittsburgh last week. Excellent job, my friend. For the fans, for the brothers, for the legacy. I can't wait for them to get out of here. Get out here to Cali later in the month. I think it's August the 26th is the Metallica show at SoFi, and then I think Pantera and Lamb of God are at San Diego. I think they are like the day in between. So pumped.
Yeah,
can't wait for that. Sorry. So go ahead, Samu. You were talking about.
Well, just kind of, with the Pittsburgh Penguins, it's kind of like Taylor Swift's second leg tour.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to extend it, and they're a formidable team. It's a win now team. They have to win.
Yeah.
And we've seen this before, and I think there's still gas in the tank for the Penguins for the next 2 years. All the chips are in. But there is a team that's going to stand in their way. It's not the Carolina Hurricanes, it's the New Jersey Devils. Because
that's very true.
It's funny because the Devils were modeled after the Pittsburgh Penguins. They did everything. You know what the Penguins did? They tanked when they got Marc-Andre Fleury in 2003. They needed a new arena, so they got Grandma's slot machine arm to do it, to finance this arena. Ka-ching! Right? Mm-hmm, now they have their new arena. The conspiracy theory suggests that Gary Bettman purposely selected Sidney Crosby to the Pittsburgh Penguins. And then a couple more draft picks, and suddenly they're in the Stanley Cup Finals, losing to the Red Wings, and then they're back in the Stanley Cup Finals and beat the Red Wings for their first Stanley Cup since Mario Lemieux days in the 90s. So I think, honestly, the Penguins are going to be dangerous. But what concerns me for them is they're, I don't know, getting a lot of our, I don't know if I should say this on our seconds, like Ty Smith and Ryan Graves, amongst others that they've signed for whatever reason. So, again, it could be these two teams, the Penguins and the Devils, fighting it out in the Eastern Conference Finals. Or would they play in the Conference Finals? No, they wouldn't. Semifinals? Probably semifinals, right?
Yeah. Well, who knows what the way they have everything structured these days.
Yeah. So, my opinion, you know what? The more the merrier. I mean, that Metropolitan division is stacked. I think the Flyers are not going to win a game. this season. They're young and rebuild. They're an up and coming neighborhood right now. Philadelphia Flyers. They're doing it the right way, and as we know, but they ripped off the Band-Aids off the wound, and now let the healing begin. And it's going to take a while for Danny Briere and company, Keith Jones and all that. And they kind of got off to a bad start here and there. They're kind of off ice issues, all that kind of stuff, but they're on the right track, the Flyers. It's just going to take them another 3 to 5 years to be relevant again, but that's fine with me. Maybe we should go down to Philly and take advantage of it. Maybe a Wells Fargo invasion.
Wells Fargo invasion.
Well,
Very nice.
I wish I remember the days of the FU Center. That was the best. Well, it's the First Union Center. Used to call it the FU Center. At one point it was Maxwell like this. At one point it was going to be the Bank of Boston Center.
The Bank of Boston, huh?
Yeah, but Core States won out. Core States Bank won out the bidding for the sponsorship. Naming rights of that building. Prudential Center South is what Max is going to call it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Man. Yeah, Pittsburgh, they're going to look. I almost forgot about Marcus Peterson also on defense, too. Raquel and Zucker. Rust.
Stacy White,
Jake
hello
Gunsel.
in the Facebook Live.
Man, Malkin and Cross, they both had, and Gunsel had, it's 93, 83, 73 points. Woof. Man. You add Carlson to that mix. That's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. That power play, man. That's where I'd be very. That's what I would be very afraid of. Is that power play can just eat you up next year. But they're improving. I think Carolina will be good again. Like I said, I know the Devils are going to be good again. And then everyone else after that, I think the Rangers will hang around, kind of in the mix. But I don't think they're.
How do you think the BJs are going to fare? I mean, they really got some pieces.
Yeah, I don't know if Damon Severson is going to lead them to the promised land. I don't know about that, but
just making small talk, Scotty. Just trying to keep the conversation going. It's the off season. Just making small talk.
No, they're going to be improved as well, but I almost forgot about the Icelanders. They'll still be around.
They'll be a tough team.
Pushing. They'll be a tough team to beat. Again, I think they'll be in that reign of like where the Rangers are. Not on the top of the division, but team that you cannot take lightly. And they're going to have a bunch of crafty veterans on that team as well. You know how Lou Lambs likes to build it and likes to go. So you're gonna see them and put up some tough plays, some tough games rather, and it's gonna be a tight race. It really is. It's gonna be a tight race throughout. The Devils, the issue I think is gonna be, as always, young defense. We just re-signed Kevin Ball. Finally. Great deal. 2 years. What's about like $1 million bucks, I think, cap hit.
1.1.
We needed big balls there to be on the team and ready to go. We've already mentioned the gravy train over now on Pittsburgh. Someone's got to pick up the pace for those block shots, for the physical play, and we know Kevin Ball, seeing it in the postseason as well, in the playoffs, you definitely saw him pick up his physical play. So he's going to have some big skates to fill. I think he's ready. Is he going to be prime Kevin Ball? No, not yet. He's still got some learning to go. And we know Luke Hughes is going to have some learning curve there. And he may eventually be, hopefully not, but offensively, okay. But we want to see him a little more sound defensively. But he may be able to put up, Carlson. I don't know if he's going to break 100 points, but hey, you never know. You never know. But he could be a force out there as well on the offensive side. I think everybody knows that. But he's got to shore up that defense and make sure everything is cool. So those are two big things that are going on with the Devils and the goaltending. There's a couple of names still out there. I don't know if the Devils are going to make any more moves with it. But there are a couple of, veterans. But let's face it, where Tom Fitzgerald, we have christened him the name Tom Fleecegerald on many occasions. However, the veteran goaltending signings haven't been so, well, what can we say? Something to write home about. Remember Corey Crawford?
Maybe that's why he's not signing anybody.
Maybe that's why.
He just either trades for him or develops him. He learned his lesson, Tommy Fitz. That's his Achilles heel.
That's the Achilles heel right there.
Yeah.
The veteran goaltending signings. Because, someone like Yaroslav Halak is still out there.
Yeah.
Who you can probably get on a 1-year deal. I mean, that's what he seems to be accepting all the time. And he's been bouncing around from team to team for the last number of years. I remember when he came in. He came in with Montreal, and he was part of that. Was it Montreal or was it Chicago? I think it was Montreal, right? And then he went to Chicago afterwards, I believe. Didn't he have a good playoff run with Montreal? We were saying it was Halak down, I believe. That's what people were saying when he was in net.
Boom Shock Halak or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. I think I was a fan of the lockdown, but either way, for someone coming in on a year contract, he's someone that's still out there that could, definitely be usable for these Devils. Are they going to stick with the Vanacek Schmid combo, or are they planning on? Fitzy has mentioned this. Is Akira Schmid going to play the majority of the season in the AHL? And then do you bring in someone like a Halak? I don't know. Me personally, I think just let him roll in the NHL and get that experience at this level. Because we've seen the Devils already on the forward side of things with Jack, and Nico, and Dawson, and Jesper Bratt, amongst others, come in and just from the get-go have all that experience at the NHL level. Akira Schmid didn't really seem to bother him too much. Playing at that NHL pressure. He seemed to kind of rise to the occasion. And that's what sometimes players need. Sometimes they go down to the AHL and it's just too slow for them. Because there is a big difference in that speed. And sometimes, that just takes you out of it. And we've seen it before where guys struggle at the AHL, then they come up to the NHL level. And boom, it's because they have to be in every second, every split second moment of every game because the speed is so fast. Whereas the AHL, you can kind of maybe tune in and out every now and then. You don't have that luxury when you're playing at the most elite level in the world. And we know Akira Schmid looks like he's got that ice water in his veins. Where he doesn't get razzled. Like Shorts Guy always tells us. Like he thinks and how he tells his kids that he's coaching. You have until the puck drops next to think about that goal and figure out what went wrong. After that, you got to forget about it and move on. Akira Schmid, almost looking like a young Marty Brodeur back there with his calmness.
Oh, yeah. That's what I loved about him. Nothing fazed him. He didn't give up two quick goals. Nope. That's enough.
Stone Cold Akira Schmid. Sorry, we're going to crack open some Schmidweisers over the course of the season. Give me a hell yeah.
Were you talking to me or were you talking to... Oh, hell yeah.
I'm just talking to anyone in general. Holtz, I see Max and Christopher and others. Gotta be a goldfish, that's right. Oh my goodness. Christopher, yeah, like I said, Halak, he's saying Halak, veteran goalie as a PTO, possibly. There's a couple others out there too. Halak is just the first one that jumps into my mind.
There's a lot of beef. There's a lot of beef on this team as well. So I think the real X factor is going to be Alexander Holtz, what he does.
Well, that's another thing that seems to be chirping here on the old YouTube chat between Christopher and the beer chugger to end all beer chuggers, Max. I think it's, you know, man, you don't realize this is going to be his third year. Dawson Mercer's already got 2 years in the bank. Holtzy, we all know about the skating problems, but we've mentioned it before. Maybe putting him on a third line with Haula and Palat could be a really good thing for him. You got two really sound, defensive, responsible guys that can kind of feed him the puck, and he can get open. As we know, is it the fourth year already?
No,
Steven
it's third. It's third.
I think it's the third.
Third. He got drafted in 2020. 2020 was a little weird. Then you've got the 2021 season. We didn't see Alexander Holtz. The 22 season, that second year. And then the 2022-23 season, that's the third year. Have to count 20. The 2020 draft was like practically in 2021, Steve Engel.
Well, either way, Holtzy's got to learn how to skate to play at the NHL level.
Yeah.
He's got the shot for it, as we all know from Sam Woo's hot takes on the X. I heard it on the X. Look at that. ZZ Top. There you go.
Ah.
I heard it on the X that Sam Woo says that Alexander Holtz might be very similar to a different Alexander Ovechkin.
Did you hear about the Kevin Ball take as well?
I didn't. What was the Kevin Ball take that I didn't get to hear on the X? Heard it on the X.
It's going to be the next Chara.
He's going to be the next. I love it. I hope so. He's certainly got the size. 6'6", 230. Pooh. He's probably going to put on some more muscle, too. Add a couple inches with those skates on there. Kid's a monster. And he's young. What's he, 22? Or is he 23? I can't remember. I think he's 22.
Well, Phoenix has got to be kicking themselves with that Hall trade. I mean, we got a lot of goodies out of it. Not Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, the Coyotes?
Yeah, with that Hall trade, I mean, you talk about Ball, you're talking about Mercer, you're talking about Siegenthaler. Devils got a lot. Siegenthaler being
Mark
the
is
draft
saying
pick.
Mark is saying he met someone in Sweden, and it's saying that it's bratwurst. I don't know. We're gonna have to ask Jesper. I think we're gonna have to get a.
When you listen,
we're gonna have to have Jesper on.
when you listen to Devils Hockey Network is, hi, this is Jesper Bratt. You're listening to Matt and Chico on the Devils Hockey Radio Network. Max says, Sam, you need to get credentials for one game to ask one question. Just ask Jesper
for
Bratt
one game. One game and one night only.
No. Max, I got
Sam Wu credentialed.
No.
Oh, boy.
Max, I'm not going to sell out and get credentials. What I'll do is I'll wait in line for an autograph and then I'll ask him. I don't want your signature.
He'll be kicked out before the first period ends. Yeah. Trust me. Yeah. They'll be like, who let the Wu in here?
You don't want me in the locker room. Jeez, I'd be asking all sorts of questions.
Holtz is the next Peter Sikora. All right.
Yeah, I'd be asking Alexander Holtz. Alex, did you learn anything this past summer? Is your skating up to par?
Did you learn how to skate?
Yeah. I'll hang
Alex,
up and listen.
Alexander Holtz. Yeah, long-time listener, first-time caller. Wondered when you're going to get to that Ovechkin goal record. You going to start working on that?
Kevin, there's been some comparisons on the X about you being compared to your idol Chara. Do you think you're able to spend another 20 years in the NHL at an all-star caliber defenseman?
If you didn't know, Kevin, people are comparing you to Zdeno Chara.
Yeah, Vitek, you had a great first half of the season, this past season. Were you gassed in the end, and that's why you didn't perform in the playoffs?
Yeah, Sam will be kicked out.
Yeah,
pretty quickly.
But
hopefully,
go ahead.
No, I was going to say, hopefully the Devils don't make the same mistake that the Islanders did and trade a Kevin Ball like the Islanders traded a Zdeno Chara back in the day.
They're called the Arizona Coyotes. All they need right now is some con artist to try to buy the team without even spending a dime. Where is John Spano? We got to find that guy.
If I win the lottery, maybe I'll buy the Coyotes.
Oh, it's this Tuesday.
Seems like it'd be a pretty easy deal to make.
What, with the Coyotes?
Yeah.
You know where I'd move them?
Couple $100, maybe like $900. I think they're going for right now. Oh man, the old Coyotes. Yeah, they made some.
I would move them to
weird
Quebec.
Deals.
I would move them to Quebec.
Move them back. The old Nordiques.
We're having problems with the YouTube Live. This stinks.
What's going on?
We got some bandwidth. I don't know. We've been having all sorts of problems. Yeah, I don't know what this is all about.
Seeing the. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm seeing from Max and Steven now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
It's frozen on my the chat is still working.
Oh yeah. It's just look, it's the off season.
But it looks like
You're just lucky that you're even getting us right now, okay? Me and Scotty didn't bail on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're non-union.
We're not mulching.
We're non-union teachers.
We're not mulching right now.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I guess it's better now. Well, it solves itself. Anyway, where were we? Oh, yeah, we were talking about what I would say in the locker room.
Talking about you getting kicked out of the locker room.
I will try to get press credentials for that outdoor game. That's an NHL affiliated thing. I gotta figure that one out.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see what we can do for that.
Yeah. That'd be amazing. At MetLife Stadium.
Be a lot of fun. MetLife Stadium.
Yeah.
Woo! Man, it's going to be a great time. When is it again? February?
February 17th. Oh, by the way,
just
Scotty.
it's going to be the coldest day of the year on the East Coast. So, but yeah, it should be. Hopefully, maybe it'll snow. We'll have a nice little winter landscape there going on. But yeah, it's going to be.
Oh, my goodness. This is the Let's Go Coyotes podcast material here. Work out those kinks.
Oh,
Happy
man.
Coyotes Sunday. Logan Cooley's coming.
Yeah, instead of the Ric Flair, we're going to do howls from now on.
Oh, I can't wait to get to the mullet this year.
Oh boy.
Yeah, maybe we'll have a Let's Go Coyotes podcast. Maybe we'll pretend outside. Kind of play an early April Fool's prank.
Oh man.
Yeah. Like, yeah, Jeremy Roenick, best player ever.
Jeremy Roenick.
Keith Kachuk.
Oh man.
Best
when are we
player
getting
ever.
Austin Matthews?
The Austin Matthews watch.
Morning Yote.
Oh my.
Oh man. This is definitely an off-season edition going on right now.
The Howl Report. The Howl Report.
The Howl Report.
Coyotes After Dark.
Oh man. We hunt nocturnally.
Oh
man.
Coyotes After Dark.
How the pack howls. Something, I don't know. I have to come up with some other things. Oh man.
Oh, that's fun.
But yeah. Either way, big news though for the Devils that they did get Kevin Ball locked up for those 2 years. It's going to be a big season for him. Like we said, big skates to jump into. What's going to go on with this goaltending situation? I'm fine rolling with Vanacek and Schmid, but I'm not the GM. So we'll see what happens there. And nice little article that came out from Ryan Novosinski about Patty Eliash. Old Patty, number 26.
Recruiter?
Coming through. What's that?
He's HR recruiter for the New Jersey Devils.
He is an HR recruiter. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Noshik, was really looking to re-sign in Boston. Can't blame him after the season they had. Didn't go so well in the playoffs, but you can see why he would want to stay there. Maybe not so much anymore now that Krejci and Patrice Bergeron no longer going to be active players. But it was Patrick Eliash who reached out to Noshik and really sold him on coming to the New Jersey Devils. Check player to check player right there. And I love that, man. I love that these winners, these former Stanley Cup winners, are going out there, and now they really have something to sell to some of these guys. I know Sam Wu has said it many a times. Many of you on YouTube, Facebook, X, whatever else we're on. What's the other one we're on? Twitch. Almost forgot.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to rebuild that Twitch channel. We need to get, we're expanding,
We're expanding.
yeah, for season 7.
Yeah. But these former players now really have something to sell current players on. Yeah. Coming to New Jersey. This team has really become a destination spot. You look at someone who was on the roster last year, who was still not signed by any other team, and that's Thomas Tatar. You don't think that he wanted to come back to this team? You know that he wanted to be back in New Jersey for another go at it. Now, Fitzy went out and got a little bit more reliable with Tyler Toffoli. So I don't know if there's a spot for Thomas Tatar, especially considering, where we are salary cap wise. But this is a place where players want to go to. And you're seeing that really starting to kick in gear. And Patty Eliash did a hell of a job bringing in someone who's going to play some big minutes for this team. Penalty kill wise, physicality. Nochik is going to be someone where, he's not going to put up 60 points or something like that. But he is going to be a crucial part of this team. Whether he's playing, probably going to be playing on that fourth line. Especially because we don't know what's going to happen with Michael McLeod. We're still all waiting for these investigations to wrap up and for stuff to come out.
I'm surprised it hasn't come out yet.
I'm surprised as well. I keep checking.
What are you waiting for? Preseason to start before you start suspending and admonishing players?
Well, I think the issue is going to be they want to do that, but the players weren't part of the league at that time, so it's going to.
I think it's a CBA thing. I bet you the union's involved, and they're saying.
Oh yeah.
I bet you anything.
100%.
I bet you anything. The union's involved, and they're behind closed doors right now. And they don't want this to play out in the public, and they want to get it right. But at the same time, the players' union is going to do what the players' union is going to do. They're going to be siding with the players. So, should be interesting how that all transpires. But we're going to know eventually.
Yeah. It's going to happen at some point or another. And though we don't know the full, facts and we don't know the full parameters of everything, it does seem like, McLeod may have, somehow been involved. We don't know, indirectly or directly.
What? I'm hoping his name is out, not in this mess. But you know what? I think for now, Scotty, it's just waiting. I wish this was addressed earlier. We're just waiting. They gave him 1 year, not 2 year contract. There are reasons for that. I would assume, because he had a great playoffs. He had a pretty good year last season. And, when it breaks, I'm sure we'll be live. Although, Scotty, I bet you they're going to say something when I'm actually in Canada.
I have a feeling that the NHL is probably they're not going to put this out on a Monday. So it has all week to be talked about and everything like that. I have a feeling
Friday.
Yeah.
Friday afternoon, last week in August or something like that. We're thinking about Labor Day weekend here in the U.S. And sweep it under the carpet.
That's what they're going to try and do.
Yeah.
But we're going to see. Hopefully Mikey wasn't directly involved, but, maybe he was indirectly. I don't know.
There are some...
Anything I say, anything anyone else says is just pure speculation because
of course
unless you were an investigator for the London, Ontario police, that's the only people who really know officially what happened and what went down, or if you were there that night.
And there are some Devils fans that somehow, maybe they got their online, Juris Doctorate degree and have already convicted players. But no, you got to let it play out. You weren't there. You didn't investigate. You watch it on the news. You got to let the facts come out and make a determination. That's the way to do it.
Yeah. And I hope it, like I said, I hope it's something where It's more indirect and not direct for Mikey McLeod. Because that's not a good situation over there. But looking at it purely from a standpoint of, the Devils and who plays next year, if something like that happens, having Noshik on the roster is a huge plus for this team because he does a lot of the same things that Mikey McLeod does. And you got to give it for McLeod. I mean, not only did he have his moments on the penalty kill, obviously, and in the faceoff circle, but he dropped the gloves a number of times last year. He took some big punches from some guys too, and he stood in there and held his own. On a team where there were plenty of times where we were like, who's gonna like beef it up? Who's gonna get in there and mix it up? Mikey McLeod stepped up to the plate. But having Noshik on the roster, thank you, Patrick Elias. Because having him, Lazar, Bastion, we got to see where a Nolan Foote might fit into this equation as well. Mm-hmm. At least we have backup. If something does go south and, things turn out for the worst, playing-wise, the Devils do have a player in Noshik that can step into that role. So, good on Patty Elias for coming through and convincing Noshik to sign with the Devils. But, like I said, anything else is purely speculation. I've been reading these articles and trying to figure. I mean, it's very tight-lipped, obviously, and there really hasn't been any recent, unless there's been something today that I haven't checked. But there really haven't been any sort of developments in the case, except hey, we're expecting information to be coming soon. And it's been like 2 or 3 weeks now. We're in August. I think those reports started coming out like, oh, we're going to hear about this in like early mid-July. So it's been like 2 or 3 weeks since we've heard that, and still not a peep. How far away from training camp, Sam Wu? It's not that far away.
Rookies, I think it's September 12th, and I believe it's September 19th, 20th. Veterans report. I think it's a Saturday.
Yeah. We're about, 60 days away from drop of the puck on the season.
Oh, yeah.
What the hell's today? Is today the 6th?
Yeah. The summer flew by.
Oh, it did.
Absolutely flew by. It flew by.
But yeah, we're a mere 2 months away from the season starting.
Yeah. Big things happening with the podcast, Scotty. Big things, passing 700,000. Thinking that we'll be celebrating 1 million downloads by February, possibly.
That'd be awesome.
That would be kind of cool.
That would be great.
I'll tell you what.
That'd be great to have 1 million party at the outdoor game. I know we're dreaming it already, but boy, would that be fantastic.
We'll have to get an RV for our tailgate.
That
if we hit
Clark,
1 million.
That there's an RV. You know that movie, Sam? You know that movie?
No.
Christmas Vacation. Come on, Sam.
Nope.
When did you get the tenement on wheels? Oh, that there, Clark, is an RV. Oh, Cousin Eddie. I love the scene when Chevy Chase is there. He's like, hey, kids. I heard someone from the airline company spotted Santa's sleigh on the radar. And he's like, are you serious, Clark?
Oh.
See, if that metal plate in my head gets dented, then my hair is just not going to look right.
Sometimes I forget about movies. I've watched these movies. I just forget about it. You watch it once and you just don't remember.
Oh, man. Christmas Vacation was a classic. Still is. Elaine Bennett's next door neighbor.
I'm a big A Christmas Story fan.
Okay. All right.
That's all.
That's a good one as well. Yep. He's just yakking on a bone. He got it up. No problem. This is Snots, the dog. Hey, wait, get out. You're drinking all the water from the tree. Don't worry, Clark. A little tree water won't hurt him. And if he drinks all the water, the tree's going to dry up. Squirrel! Oh, my God. You couldn't hear a dump truck going through a nitroglycerin plant.
Final thoughts?
She died 30 years ago. Can you say Grace, Aunt Bethany? I pledge allegiance to the flag. Play ball. All right. Sorry. Got caught up in Christmas Vacation quotes over there. Sam was just looking at me like, this is another one. This is another one that I've never seen before.
Max is having lobster.
Oh, Ralph, that's a good idea. Eddie, if I woke up tomorrow with my head sewn to the carpet, I wouldn't be more surprised than I am right now. Oh. Did you get your bonus, Clark? No? It's an enrollment in the Jelly of the Month Club. Clark, that's the gift that keeps on giving the whole year. I know, Alan. Poor Sam. He's so lost when we go into movie quote world over here. Well, final thoughts. Very excited about Kevin Ball. Very, very excited that we got him. That was our last of our RFAs that we really needed to get signed, sealed, and delivered. Fleece Gerald comes through once again and ready for some big balls next season from you, Kevin. And there was an article on the the Devils app, whatever it is, the NHL app, with Kevin Ball, just talking about how he feels prepared, but he doesn't want himself to feel comfortable. He wants to fight for every inch that he gets, much like, last season when he was coming in with no guarantees on anything. I like that mentality. Even though we know
he's hungry.
Hungry boy is hungry for a spot. And he wants to show everyone how much he is improved throughout the offseason, working with Ryan McGill. So I am pumped about the thoughts of these two young defensemen, possibly three. Don't know what's going to happen with Nemec. But these two young defensemen, Luke Hughes and Kevin Ball, learning at that NHL level, much like a Nico, much like a Jack, much like a Dawson Mercer, much like a Jesper Bratt. This experience that they're getting at this level, you cannot buy it. It is not the same as playing every day in the AHL. And I'm really looking forward to Kevin Ball crunching some heads this year and laying some people out. We saw it starting to come in the playoffs. I think you're going to see a lot more of that because he's learning when to line someone up and when to play the puck instead. In this new age of the NHL, you can't just play the body all the time. You'll get interference calls. You have to be smart about it. And I think we're going to see that this year with Kevin Ball, and I'm really excited about the possibilities of him, Luke Hughes, and possibly Nemec just flying on that defense. Oof. Luke and Nemec, and man, Ball just holding down that blue line. Man, I'm ready.
Well,
Sam Wu, how about you?
I think that's why I think there's got to be an agreement to get Tatar back on this team, because if you talk about Nemec, I mean, you want his fellow countrymen alongside with him, bringing.
Well, he got Noshik now.
Yeah, but he's Slovakian.
Oh, well, they're right next to each other.
Same difference,
They used to
right?
be one.
Yeah, same difference.
They used to be one. Now, whatever.
Same difference. I don't know if I should have said that. Same thing.
But I mean, it's very, very close to each other and everything.
Well, you know what? Certain things have to happen. I mean, the McLeod situation is still up in the air.
That's got to play itself out. Yep.
In terms of the goalie situation, maybe see what happens by January, where Schmidt and Vanacek, where they will be. So there's a lot of questions, but so far the Devils, they are doing very well on paper, and they got their salary cap situation good, and I can actually hear that in my ear. That was a nice.
Oh, my water.
Yeah, it's like a big gulp. Had like a big gulp.
It's nice and chilled. I got my insulated here, water. Don't got the air conditioner on right now, so it's getting a little hot.
Oh,
getting a little hot in here, and I was just working out before. I thought I was gonna have a George Costanza where I took a shower and then I just continued sweating afterwards.
Yeah. But you know what, Scotty, it was enjoyable. Just a programming note that the Sunday edition of the Let's Go Devils podcast, season 6, has been shelved. Not really. Season 7 will start September 17th. Sunday, September 17th. It would have started on the 10th, but the Giants are playing that night. So we'll have to figure that one out, Scotty.
Yeah.
We'll be back. 7-Eleven big gulp, says Max. Big gulps, all right. Well, see you later. You know what movie that's from? Okay.
Dumb and Dumber.
Yep. Anyway, back to my thought that big things are happening.
You had extra gloves? You had extra gloves this whole time? Harry, your hands are freezing.
So cold. Totally redeem yourself.
I don't know. She was talking about something about me not paying attention. I don't know. I wasn't really listening to what you were saying.
Nice accent you got there.
Off-season shows.
New Jersey?
Yeah.
That should be one of our clips in the beginning of the Woo Report. Or the Morning Woo. Yeah, I'm still working on the Morning Woo as well. It's going to be like its own entity on this podcast platform. But anyway,
I thought it was howling with Woo. Woo!
We lost again.
Oh, for Devils After Dark, we're gonna do Bark at the Moon, Ozzy. There we go. Even though it's kind of werewolf, but whatever. That kind of works. The old Let's Go Coyotes podcast coming soon.
Two giant goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. What's up, everyone? What's up? We'll be at MetLife Stadium in February. I might be there September 10th, though. We'll have to figure that out. All right. Out. Yeah. We'll have to figure it out. But I'm glad the internet works at MetLife Stadium in the parking lot. Wasn't sure.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I always get jammed up. Can't send texts. That kind of thing. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Jammed up.
Yeah, I get
a little jammed up.
Oh, I gotta end this podcast, Scotty. I'm just babbling.
Is that because is it because of the salads you're eating? You get a little jammed up?
Actually, I have French fries waiting for me.
Those potato greens that you have? Okay. All right.
Actually, they are regular fries, crinkle fries, and they're actually veggie fries mixed in because I ran out of the crinkle fries. So I have veggie fries. So it's half and half.
Mrs. Woo's going to be howling at the moon.
Mrs. Woo's doing just fine. Anyway, heading out. Dropping the podcast at midnight. Thank you, Scotty. Thank you, everybody. This is Devils After Dark. Till next time, let's go Devils.